Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years, and today I have my special guest. He's the author of the book From Purpose to Profit, no other than Miss Erin Andrea Kress. Welcome
What
to Book 101, Miss Erin, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
what an introduction.
Yes.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
What would you like to hear?
Yes, about
Myself.
more about
Sorry,
yourself.
it's just the question I'm dreading. So if you
Yeah.
can just, shape it a little bit for me.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself more.
I wrote the book.
And
And yeah, so when I started writing it, I've never had an idea. I never wanted to be an author, and it never crossed my mind, to tell the truth. So I was looking for a job back in the corporate environment, and with time, I realized that it's not the place where I want to go back to. And I decided to move away from my business career. I didn't know where I'm going, so that's for sure. I just knew that I'm not going to go back. But the thing is, I learned throughout time that I've got so much knowledge that is so much different from what other businesses think about business, that I'd like to basically pack it and share it. Because that time I had a thought that I really don't want to take it with me into my grave. So why not just share it with people if they find it useful? And the funny thing about this knowledge is that it's really different from how businesses nowadays see running a business. And at some point, I thought, you know what? No, I can't be that weird. I can't be that unique. So probably something wrong with me, because 90% of businesses completely even don't know what I'm talking about. They're like, that can't be true. And then with time, first thing first, I realized that not most, all professors that, for example, or contributors, they're called, that write on Harvard Business Review, they write exactly the same that I think about business. So in a way, you see, it gave me a little bit of credibility. So just to shed away the self-doubt thing that was torturing me, is like, yeah, and believe that actually, okay, what I know, it's really different. Fine, fair enough. Yes, I'm in minority, but it seems to be correct. And then when it was time, going through what I was writing, kind of realized that in reality, it's just simply that nowadays businesses, they don't engage with strategy. While I was coming from a strategic perspective. So whatever I was talking about when I was referring to strategy, people couldn't understand what I'm talking about. And that's what became the epicenter, the main plot of this book, is to explain people how to build business strategically, where you don't do chaotic actions, when you don't shift back and forth, when you don't do trial and error, when you don't listen to whoever because they just promote best practices because this is how they earn money, right? You need to go back to basics, and unfortunately, you need to know how to build a business and how to run it from a strategic point of view. So this is how the book was born. Again, as I said to you in the very beginning, something that wasn't recorded. For me, it was a farewell. I just wanted to pack everything that I knew and share it with people.
so how does the book define purpose in a business context?
For me, purpose is one of the profitability pillars, or basically foundation. Contribution going to be profitability pillar, and purpose is the foundation because it adds to many things that business is about. It adds to the morale of people, of the teams. It adds to stamina. It adds to resilience. It helps you create a strategy because it gives you direction where you go to. It helps you connect with internal and external stakeholders. It helps you bring better teams on board and make sure that you have a higher retention rate. it gives meaning to what you do, which means that when you cope with adverse situations and they inevitably happen in business, you have the stamina and strength to persevere. It's more than just a word, because I believe that the word is a little bit typecasted and everybody's talking about it. In reality, it's meaning, and meaning is just one step deeper than purpose. Purpose is actional, meaning is the real why that is supposed to keep you afloat. So this why purpose, in my perspective, is absolutely necessary for the business.
Why is having a clear purpose essential for long term profitability?
Oh, simply because you will be going through adverse times and it will be challenging, and you need to be able to persevere. You need to know why you're doing this business. What does it bring to you? What it brings to other people? It's very easy to give up when it's challenging, and it's very easy to forget why you're there in the first place. So it's like a guiding star, it gives you destination.
How can entrepreneurs align their personal values with their business goals?
Um, it's a very good question, because I can hardly imagine why personal values wouldn't be aligned with their business goals. So if you build your business goals that are not aligned with your value, there's something wrong with your goals. I don't believe it's healthy for an individual to change their values, but it is perfectly possible to change their goals. So you're always in harmony with yourself.
So, what strategies does the book suggest for identifying business unique purpose?
Strategies are not to identify purpose, although purpose is part of positioning, and there are different exercises how you can do it. And the best case, and I mean, what I figure out came up with is to know your belief. If this is something I believe in, and my purpose is to make my belief come true, right? So again, purpose is a bit more actionable, and this is just the easiest way to do it. This is what I believe in, so my purpose is to make this belief come true. There's no any other strategy. It just, you see, when you listen to all different people that talk about business, you're going to have here a lot of different imperatives. It's like you have positioning, and then you have values, and then you have purpose, then you have mission, then you have vision, and have anything else. In reality, it's not like that. They are not disjoint. They are all have a hierarchy. They all have logic. Every element serves certain thing. So your purpose is part of the overall positioning. Again, starting with your belief, it goes top down and uh, down, up, and bottom up. So, but yeah, there's you don't need to create additional special strategy to create a purpose.
How does a strong purpose differentiate business in a competitive market?
You see, again, purpose for me is just actionable part of your belief. I believe in something good. I believe in fair society. I believe, I don't know, in human rights. I believe that the birds need to sing every morning because it makes our lives better. I believe that we need to breathe fresh air, it doesn't really matter. Purpose is how, that's how I'm going to make it work. The thing is that although in most cases products will be similar, everybody's belief is different, which means that your purpose ultimately gonna help your differentiation on the market. This is how it contributes to the business. Apart from many other things that I mentioned earlier, it creates differentiation.
So, what are the most common mistakes new business owners make according to your book?
Oh dear God. There's just the whole list. In the very beginning, you have a massive chapter about strategic mistakes, how they perceive strategy. But also, I did a massive research. I went through a lot of information trying to understand what exactly the mistakes that small businesses make. And you're going to see in the beginning, it's just list 2 pages of mistakes, and I've grouped them according to my business knowledge. And the funny thing is, most mistakes that businesses make, they fall under area of marketing or branding, either or. And because strategy or brand strategy, that's very similar to business strategy, it's a driving force behind every business, which means that if businesses make mistakes related to brand or marketing strategy, this is what makes businesses fail in most of cases. I can't enumerate all the mistakes because they're endless. But
Endless.
shall me just say those that I find most crucial that are strategy related. So the first one, I guess my product is fantastic, so everybody gonna buy it. Again, there's no differentiation, there's no understanding why I'm supposed to purchase your product. It's just because you believe it. Well, in all fairness, I don't really care. So that's the one thing. Another thing, it is lack of strategy altogether. This is something that we discussed from the very beginning, right? We don't have strategy, we don't engage with strategy, which means that we're moving like headless chickens all the way through, trying to figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work. Another massive mistakes, although the book called To Profit, but in reality, profit is exactly what we focus on. And there's another thing that is profitability. Profit is here and now, profitability is longer term. What we're trying to get with endless immediate fixes, we're trying to get return on investment, we're trying to bring money tomorrow. And there are a lot of psychological biases about it. So, not going to go into details. But in reality, when you have strategy, you don't move from one cash to another pile of cash in the hope that it's going to last. What you do, you move forward, you have your destination, and every activity that you do contribute to the profitability of your company. And this is something businesses don't any longer do. So this is why they're so much short-lived, and this is why it's so chaotic. So, and another, I guess, 3 mistakes altogether identified, although it's not in the book, but I thought about it lately. It's usually businesses are run again like headless chickens. Then there's another metaphor, being stuck in the rat race, and yeah, running in a hamster wheel. So this is what lack of strategy does to businesses. And then we have stress, and then we start trying to cure stress without actually addressing the root cause of how the stress was created in the first place.
Very well said, Miss Erin. Very well said.
Yeah, what did I
I like it the way you say it. So, how can entrepreneurs recognize and avoid hidden financial pitfalls?
They need to learn about how to run a business, and they need to learn about strategy. I keep on saying, I absolutely love it because it's so much true. You won't hire a plumber without knowledge how to do the plumbing work, right? If you have something with electricity, you're probably going to look for an electrician who knows how to do it, I would presume, right? If you were running a restaurant, you wouldn't hire a chef who doesn't know how to cook. But there are 2 areas of life where we presume that we are God gifted to do it without any additional knowledge. It's being a parent and running a business. So, my first recommendation would be yes, to learn about how to run a business and to learn about strategy, because that's going to help you actually have it again more profitable, more sustainable, but equally a little bit more flexible and more relaxed, because you stop being chaotic, you stop running one direction to another. You'll know where you go. And when you have strategy, and I know we're talking about VUCA all the time, But when I was in business, it was also uncertain and life is uncertain altogether. But strategy gonna help you to mitigate the potential threat that uncertainty brings to your business.
Speaking of chef people, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, Food 101, our fourth, no, fifth season, people, fifth season, with my co-host, one of the specialty chef in one of the five-star hotel in downtown Toronto. So please do listen, Food 101, and tomorrow topics we're gonna talk about something delicious, so please do tune in. Food 101. So Miss Erin, what role does planning play in reducing costly errors?
There was a research done, I don't remember the numbers, but those entrepreneurs that plan are several times more successful than those who don't plan. Planning is part of strategy. So, again, you have an opportunity to give yourself direction, you have an opportunity to plan and allocate resources so you don't find yourself out of money, out of time, or out of human beings in the middle of the process, for example. It also helps you mitigate risks because when you do your planning, you will foresee different scenarios and you will be ready to know how you're going to react whenever it hits the fan. So, this risk mitigation and resource allocation, and again, knowing where you go. So, that's what planning gives to you.
So Miss Erin, what will be your advice for those people entering to this business or this industry?
Read my book. No, no, no. It doesn't. No, no, no. It doesn't mean that I'm promoting it in such way. But the way how the book was written is that I tried to pack 20 years of everything I know about business in a very concise, informal, yet intense reading. Intense because there is no water. It just goes bang, 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 bang. So you really have a summary of everything all together. It's like, I don't know, it's like a table book, a coffee book. It's or a modern textbook. I don't know how you're gonna call it, but it really gives you all you need to know about marketing and communication and branding and strategy, differentiation, all in one go. Brand experience, everything. Alternatively, buy any other book. It doesn't really matter. The point is get some knowledge, not those that comes from all over the place, all over the internet, because most people, unfortunately, would be recommended to also read some business books prior to promoting their services. Just got somebody, professor, better if it's a professor, well-known person, and just get some information.
Definitely get some information before building your business, people. We want you to succeed.
Exactly.
So, Miss Erin, to sum up our discussion, what does your book suggest for sustaining profit? Sorry for that. Profitability in the face of market fluctuations.
Strategy: long-term planning versus short-termism. Short-termism is a big thing that's happening right now in business and the world together because we all want to have everything here and now. We want to have instant rewards. We are scared of not having any resources tomorrow, so we'd better have them now. Some businesses obviously are pressured by investors, which something I understand, but most of them are not. And they still don't think and don't see beyond tomorrow. Well, unfortunately, with such an approach, you won't get profitability. And this beyond tomorrow, it comes to innovation that is just reduced to complete waste of resources, to be honest, because it doesn't serve the purpose, because people don't understand what and which kind of innovation, what they can bring to the business. The same goes to promotions and communication. The same goes to misunderstanding the brand, what actually brands means, and differentiation, the role of differentiation in the current marketplace. So there's so many things that we're doing wrong. that at the end of the day going to be affecting your profitability. You may gain profit tomorrow, you waste more resources, you may get a little bit less profit the next day and a little bit less in 1 week time. I'm exaggerating, but the point is that when you're moving in really very short steps, what you're going to get very often is that you're going to waste more resources ultimately that you're going to get back as your famous return on investment. To avoid it, plan long term. Don't be afraid, because not having money tomorrow, if you plan it carefully, it's not going to affect your business, but it may contribute to your business profitability and sustainability longer term.
Definitely, people think something big and think something in the future. Just like Kodak, what happened to Kodak right now? When his smartphone came, now Kodak is gone. So
Yeah,
think
and there are plenty
something.
like that.
Yes,
Let's
think
talk about
something.
Nokia and the same bucket.
Yes. So, Miss Erin, thank you so much for empowering us, for sharing your talents to the world.
Enjoying the
Yes.
words.
Yes. Can you please invite our listeners to support your book? Can you invite our listeners to support your book?
Yes, listeners, as I was suggested, I'm inviting you to support my book. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Erin, because if you support her, more empowering business books to come. So, Miss Erin, thank you for your time.
For your invitation, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon. You are most welcome to come back, Miss Erin. If